Hello everyone, this is Minion Ninja speaking. A little overdue in this case, but I have a few thoughts about Kotobukiya's recent developments in terms of their Mega Man X model kit line that I do want to discuss. Namely, what I'm going to be covering in this particular video is a little bit in terms of the reveal for the final models of the Max Armor and the Hyper Armor, which are now up for pre-order, by the way. And also a little discussion in terms of what I'm hoping for the line in the future. For a little bit of house cleaning up front, most of the images I'll be using in this particular video either reference our own pre-order pages for the X3 models, and for some Rockman X dive stuff that I will be talking about at length at the end here. I am borrowing some photos from Protodude's Rockman court in order to help flesh that out, so I just want to give credit where credit's due in terms of discussion here. Starting from the top, for the X3 models, both the Max Armor and Hyper Armor, seeing them in color, I'm still equally as impressed as when I saw the original hand-painted models for these, and as you can imagine, I have pre-ordered both. But with that being said, I do have a little bit of a bone to pick with the way they handled the accessories for these particular releases. Namely, unlike the original Classic X look, where you have the Classic and the Charging version, that while they have different colored effects, they still include the same general effect. What they did for the X3 armors is that they split the effects down the middle, meaning if you want to get all the proper accessories, you need to actually buy both models on there. What this means for you, the consumer, is that if you pick up the Max Armor, you're only getting the Z-Saber, which, by the way, also needs a separate third-party LED light in order to actually make use of the light-up effect, which is a little extra bit of a nitpick there I have qualms with. But if you pick up the Hyper Armor in this case, you don't get the Z-Saber, but what you do get is the cross-shot effect piece. What you also get in this case is a hand that is dedicated for the Z-Saber, that is properly colored for the Hyper Armor, but you don't have the Z-Saber in order to go for it. You need to buy the original model in order to make use of that hand. So if you want to get the whole figure in, you actually have to get both model kits in order to do it, which, considering that both models each cost about, I'm going to say 75 to 80 USD each, that is a bit of a steep order if I'm being totally honest. For the general consumer, you are asking a bit much, and I'm hoping that this isn't going to be a precedent that is set for future pieces where they have effects that should be present with them, but I hope that they don't end up splitting things more like this in the future. For the second half of this video, I'm going to go over what's going to be my short list for characters which are either A, practical for the line, or B, or just plain long overdue for a proper model kit or figure of any sort. Starting off with the practical end, anyone that was included in Rockman X Dive as a playable or secondary character are fair game for this, because they're quite frankly relevant again with the recent game edition there. Namely, that gives you Alia and Palette, both of them having new art based off their X8 appearances. That makes them fair game by all means, especially since they all fit in an unexplored niche of female characters from this particular series as a whole. You have command mission characters Marino and Cinnamon, once again filling in part of that role, as well as just generally speaking being more unique looking characters, even compared to them. They would be easy picks, especially if you want to do alternates. You have the command mission RPG alternate looks from that to reference too. And in terms of general appearance, of course, you have Command Mission X, that look being popular enough to be kind of fit in other titles, and if you reuse bits of the mold, quite frankly, it'd be a bit of an inexpensive alternate figure to work with, let's be frank. In terms of characters which are long overdue for figures, there's a very short list in mind, and that's Iris and Sigma. Both of them being very popular characters, believe it or not, in order to work with, that somehow have managed to avoid getting a proper figure up to this point. Even back in the D-Arts days, when they were doing polls for characters to include to the line, both of them were within the top 4 of that particular polling setup, but neither one actually got around to being made as proper figures. So now's the perfect time, fill in the gap, give Iris and Sigma a chance, and I think that's all I need to add regarding the line right now. Hopefully the next time we're talking about this particular series is when I have one of the model kits in hand in order to show proper assembly and kind of review the thing. So we'll be talking more about the line when that time comes. For now, thank you all, and take care.